man in return, and not surprised, right?
Yeah, listen, you look at his foundation, his dad, his uncles, his grandfather. They're all about, the process and just making sure, and they understand what the NFL is at the quarterback position and the skill set that you have to have, the ability you have to have. And this is not a situation where he's coming out of a broke situation, okay? Whether you look at his family or you look at what NIL has provided. But with NIL now, I mean, these guys don't have to make that jump to go get that money. And again, he's a guy who wasn't jumping for the money anyway, even though he's getting paid. It's a process, man. They don't want, just like you saw, Archie make sure Eli didn't go to San Diego because he didn't want to be in a bad situation. They don't want to put this kid in a bad situation. So he has, the quarterback gods in his ear. He has a dad who has a perspective, of this process as well, just because of what his brothers and dad have done. You're going to see this guy strategically make the right decisions. Trust me, they're moving with strategy. They're moving, with a real humble and honest perception of of where he's at and what he needs to do. And if they had a conversation as a family and with Sark about is he coming or going, everybody in the room was like, he's staying. He needs to stay. Okay, so this guy had, I credit him just like Shador. I like how he handles stuff for the most part. I think Manning could be a little more emotional, but I don't knock him for that. I think this kid is going to be okay. I think there's a lot of pressure on him when you have that name on you. The media looks at you differently. You saw how the media did Eli. Ain't no love out here. So and they jumped on Arch when they didn't start out the gate the way people thought they should. You know what I mean? He was this guy. I think Texas spent like $3 or $4 million recruiting him, just recruiting him. I'm not talking about NIL. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other conversation. So Texas is really vested into this guy. I think that when he went to Texas, he probably saw a long-term plan with development. There's no quick for him. There's no reason and no desire to put himself in a position in the NFL under that scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? He sees